So here you are. You can see the plant. Now within a week's time, the entire plant, if you see, will start giving out new shoots on top over here. And if I really want to, propagate this plant, this is the place where I will propagate it from. Since there are small nodes, I can show you. Can you all see? So this is the junction of where there is a main stem where there are more leaves coming, and I can propagate from here. I can cut it over here and put this entire portion, which will give me new plants altogether. I hope you all can see this. Okay. So yeah, these are the two plants that I have potted. Would you all like me to show you all any other further videos regarding any other plants in particular or something?
Hi, ma'am. This is
Volcano.
Sindhu here. Yeah, please proceed. Someone, please.
नहीं आप बोलिए आप.
No, I just want to know what is the stem length that you're potting inside, because sometimes I'm a beginner in succulents. When sometimes I pot it, mostly the stem I have to pot it deep so that the plant doesn't shake that much. Because we are potting it in a dry soil, it doesn't hold that much because there's no water in it. So what happens is sometimes I pot it so deep, the stem starts rotting when I start watering. Okay, so what will be the correct amount of stem that has to be left out before while planting the succulents? And sometimes there will be very small pups coming near from the stems, right? You have small pups coming in the stems, which we cannot remove it at that stage. So what do you do at that time? How will you pot the succulents?
So when you have succulents by far do not need very deep growth. Okay, and I'll give you an example of a cutting right now. Give me a moment. Okay, so this is a jade I just cut out, if you can see. Okay, now you can see how big the stem is. And now if I want, I can plant it this way completely in the soil. So let's consider this is the soil. This is the topsoil of your pot. What I would do is I would put it completely down here because I have multiple branches coming up. If you see, there are multiple branches. So each of them will give me another plant. I will plant it like this. Or I can go ahead to... Parul, is this helping you?
Yes.
Okay. So this will help. So I will take out those pieces and I will take this stem. This is not even an inch more, but I have made sure that there are no leaves over here. If you can see, it is cleanly cut out, and I would put it into the thing only for about an inch, not more than that.
Okay.
And all these small pieces also can just be dipped into your soil this way.
Okay. What happens if it's like when we have echeveria or something like that, they have small babies coming near the stems. How do you pot those stuff?
I would suggest wait till they are about at least 1 or 2 inches tall, because when you try to remove them from that, when they're that small, unless and until they're in a very, very tiny pot. So what you can do is, if say for instance the echeveria is growing in this pot and you have small babies growing around it, rather than potting only the babies, you can take the full plant out and pot it into something bigger of this size, where the babies, that is the pups, and the plant get more room to grow, and it will give you more pups at the same time.
Okay.
And
got it.
And once the pups are at about 1 inch or 2 inch, then you can repot them into other pots. I see that there's a question from Sheetal.
हाँ मैम, मैं ये बोलना चाहती थी कि आपने जो वोल्केनो सैंड बताई है, वोल्केनो सैंड ना, वो हमारे यहाँ अवेलेबल नहीं है, मैंने कभी देखी नहीं, तो वो कहाँ अवेलेबल होगी, और वो नहीं हो तो उसकी जगह क्या यूज कर सकते हैं?
तो ये पर्लाइट है, ये एक पर्लाइट है जो वोल्केनो ऐश है, और दूसरा ये सिंडर, जो दोनों भी वोल्केनो ऐश के इसमें से आता है, एक
हाँ
वोल्केनो
हाँ,
ऐश है और ये वोल्केनो रिमेन्स है, ठीक
तो
है।
ये
तो
कहाँ मिलता है ऐसे में, मुझे
ये
पूछना था।
एक्चुअली कंस्ट्रक्शन के साइड में मिलना चाहिए। परलाइट आपको
अच्छा,
ऑफलाइन अमेजोन पे मिल जाएगा, या
परलाइट, हाँ परलाइट है, परलाइट मैंने देखा है,
तो
लेकिन
यहाँ
ये नहीं। हाँ,
कंस्ट्रक्शन करते हैं मैम, जहाँ पे
ओके
वहां पे मिलेगा आपको, जहाँ पे स्टोन
ओके,
का वर्क होता है, मतलब जहाँ पे
ओके,
मार्बल होता है या ये, मगर
हाँ
ये
हाँ,
इतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, ये ज्यादा करके उन जगहों के लिए है जहाँ पे आपको लाइक वेस्ट बंगाल, उड़ीसा, ये जगहों में रेड सॉइल मिलता नहीं है। तो
अच्छा,
वहाँ पे ये बहुत यूज होता है क्योंकि उनको एरिएशन करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि उन लोग
ओके,
के पास जो सॉइल है वो बहुत स्टिकी सॉइल रहता है, तो
अच्छा,
उसका ज्यादा यूज नहीं रहता है अनलेस एंड अनटिल,
ठीक,
क्या बोलते हैं, आपको बहुत एरिएशन चाहिए झाड़ों में। आपका ऑर्किड्स के लिए बहुत यूज होता है, इंडोर
अच्छा,
फिलेडेंड्रन या कॉर्टोस होता है, उनके लिए बहुत यूज होता
ओके, थैंक यू मैम,
है। हाँ, और
थैंक यू।
इसके बदले में आप यूज कर सकते हो सैंड, जो हमारा रिवर सैंड होता है,
हाँ
और
हाँ हाँ,
वो नहीं है तो आप परलाइट, ठीक है। या तो अगर आपके पास परलाइट, तो अगर आपके पास चंक्स, जैसे कि
ठीक,
कोकोपीट रहा, नॉट कोकोपीट बट कोको चंक्स। मैं एक मिनट और एक दिखाती हूँ आपको।
हाँ जी,
तो ये है हमारे कोकोनट चंक्स, ये एक्चुअली शेल्स है कोकोनट के, अगर आप
ओके,
देखते हो
हाँ
उसको।
हाँ,
हाँ, इन लोग क्या करते हैं जब कंपोस्ट करते हैं, राइट, तो ये पीसेस
अच्छा,
बन जाते हैं, तो इसको बस ड्राई करके आप यूज कर
ओके,
सकते हो। नारियल यूज करते हैं घर
ठीक
में,
है,
ब्रेक
हाँ हाँ,
करके, हाँ उसे अच्छा है।
एग्जैक्टली वो होता ही है।
तो ये ब्रेक कर दीजिए और ये दो, और उसको यूज कर, तो भी
ठीक है,
एरिएशन होता है प्लांट्स।
ओके मैम, थैंक यू मैम।
हाँ Carol, ये दो pieces टूट गए थे from the plant, the aloe, one of the aloe that I had. So what I would do in this case is I would just again take it and push it into the mud just like this, with the stem piece being out, and just about quarter, just this much of the stem going into the mud. Basically, you're just covering where the roots will come from in the mud. That's it, and sprinkle with water. Any other questions?
ये जो आपने अभी लीव्स लगाए उसको वाटरिंग कितने दिन में करना पड़ेगा, स्प्रे?
दैट डिपेंड्स। अभी आप अगर उसको बालकनी में रख रहे हो तो आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि सॉइल एक्चुअली सूख गया है या नहीं, क्योंकि सक्यूलेंट्स को बिल्कुल गीला सॉइल अच्छा नहीं लगता, उनको थोड़ा
अच्छा
सा
नहीं,
मॉइस्चर अच्छा लगता है, बट व्हेन दे आर ड्राई और व्हेन दे आर वेरी वेट दे डू नॉट लाइक द सॉइल। तो उसमें आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, जस्ट चेक करो कि सॉइल सूखा है नहीं सूखा है, और उसको अगर वाटर अगर आपको समझ में भी नहीं आ रहा है कि कब
हाँ
करना
हाँ
है, तो उसको
हाँ,
2 से 3 दिन में छोड़ के स्प्रे कर देना बस।
ठीक है, ओके, थैंक यू मैम।
You're welcome. Catherine, I think you have a question.
Can we use Leica balls, clay
Yes,
balls?
yes. You can use clay balls. You can also use terracotta, which is broken down. So one of the major things that people think is that when you buy terracotta, terracotta is eco-friendly and it can be used and there is no repercussions. It gets composted, but that is by far the truth. A terracotta plate like this one, which is actually heated to a particular degree, and it is not degradable. It does not degrade. So if you actually even see, archaeologists would have found this after millions of years, clay plates like this, because they are baked. So the non-baked terracotta pots, or pieces which you get from those pots, say for instance the pot breaks, you can use that also in your garden, but not one which is treated like this. It can be used for drainage holes, but it cannot be used in your potting mix.
No, actually, I asked about the Leica balls
Yes,
or
Leica
the
balls.
clay ball.
Yes, Leica balls are nothing else but clay which is heated to 1000 degrees plus Fahrenheit, or sorry, Celsius, and that's when they bubble, the clay bubbles and becomes Leica balls. So they are
So that
definitely,
can be used.
I'm sorry?
Can it be used for succulents?
You can use it, but I feel that it depends on where you're staying. So for instance, if you are keeping your plant in, again, open air, they do not need that much aeration. The succulent roots do not need that much aeration. But if you're keeping it in a balcony with very minimal amount of sunlight, then you would probably need to use more aerating things. So if you do not have cinder, you don't have sand, you don't have perlite, then definitely you can use leca balls. But you would have to break the balls into half or smaller pieces so that they allow more water to flow.
Actually, I've put some leca balls on the top soil.
Yes,
Is that okay?
it can be, but again, where is your succulents kept?
Uh, like
You can
outside.
show me if you're comfortable. You can definitely show me.
Now, what happens is when it rains, the water falls directly into the pot and the sand, everything comes out. So
Mhm.
that's why I've put some leca balls on top. Is that okay?
It is okay, but again, it depends on where you have kept it. Like if it is getting full sun, right? The succulents are
Mm.
getting full sun, then it's fine to keep it. But if it is not getting enough sun, you are not allowing enough aeration, that is evaporation, to happen through the soil, and that would start causing root rot in your succulents over time.
Okay, can you suggest something else to
What
put
you
on
get
top?
stones, you get these small stones which you get where they break stones, right, in stone quarries. So wherever there is a marble store or a granite store, you can check with them if they have stone pieces, and you can sprinkle that on top. Or you can even
Okay.
use river sand. You get river sand now in different colors. That is aquarium sand. You can even put that on the top of your soil so that it does not splash the other soil out.
So
And one,
when you fertilize it, should we remove that and then fertilize?
no, no, it's not needed. So one more thing is, if you are potting your pot, that is your plant, you will see there is a marker here on your pots.
Yeah.
This is
Mm.
the maximum you should have your soil till. Your soil should never
Okay.
come outside this line, because when it comes out of this line, you will just waste it when you water plants when it rains, or for instance, it might become too much soil for that particular plant. So yeah, as I said, you can use river sand, you can use aquarium sand, and you can use leaker balls also, but you will have to give it more sun. So whenever you're covering the top layer of your soil, this portion of the soil, it needs more sunlight compared to being kept in shade.
It gets morning sun only. Is that okay?
No, then if it's getting morning sun, then I wouldn't recommend you covering it with anything, because what you can do is, you can probably add some, as you said, leaker balls, but very little of them. That's it, not much. I hope that is helping you.